You open your eyes. It is 2001. You are born in Odessa, Florida, the Sunshine State. But you don't care about the sun. You care about the grass, specifically the soccer field. You are not Jynxzi yet. You are Nicholas Stewart. You are an athlete. You play for Everton FC. You run drills until your lungs burn. You dream of stadiums, of World Cups, of roaring crowds. You tie your cleats with a precision that borders on obsession. You visualize the goal. But life has a funny way of crushing your first dream to make room for your real one. Maybe it was an injury. Maybe it was just the realization that you weren't quite fast enough. But the soccer ball stops rolling. The stadium lights turn off. You retreat indoors. You retreat to the screen. You pick up a controller, and you find a new obsession. You are high school age now. You are sitting in a business class. You are staring out the window, dreaming of something bigger than a cubicle. Your teacher walks by your desk. He looks at you with the pity of an adult who has given up on their own dreams. He asks you a question that will echo in your head for the rest of your life. When are you going to start taking life seriously? He thinks you are a loser. He thinks you are wasting your time. He thinks the blue light reflecting off your eyes is a sickness. He doesn't know that Nicholas Stewart is already building an empire in his head. He doesn't know that while he is teaching you about profit margins, you are about to rewrite the rules of the entire entertainment industry. You graduate. You don't go to college. You go to your bedroom. You turn on the PC. You turn on the stream. It is 2019, the year of the void. You stream for 5 hours. You look at the viewer count. 1. You stream for another 5 hours the next day. 1. You stream on Christmas. 1. You stream on your birthday. 1. You spend 639 hours of your life talking to a camera lens that isn't talking back. You are performing stand-up comedy for an empty room. The silence is deafening. It smells like stale air and desperation in that room. Most people would quit after a week. Most people would quit after a month. You do it for a year. You are trapped in a psychological prison of your own making, screaming into the abyss, convinced that if you just scream loud enough, the abyss will eventually scream back. And that one viewer, that single digit that keeps you from having a zero, it's your dad. He is sitting in the other room, watching you on his phone, typing in the chat so you don't feel alone. He is the only lifeline you have. You make a decision that defies all logic. Everyone who wants to be famous is playing Fortnite. They are playing Call of Duty. They are chasing the trends. You decide to play Rainbow Six Siege. In 2020, Siege is a dead game. It is on life support. The developers are making bad changes. The pro scene is stale. The viewership is non-existent. But more than that, Siege is a toxic cesspool. It is a game where your own teammates will kill you for no reason. It is a game where people scream slurs and voice chat just to feel something. It is a psychological torture chamber disguised as a tactical shooter. And to make it harder, you aren't playing on a mouse and keyboard like the pros. You are playing on a console. You are playing on a controller. In the eyes of the gaming elite, you are a joke. You are a console peasant. You are wasting your time on a dying game with an inferior input method. You are the underdog of underdogs, but you have a plan. You realize that you can't beat them with aim, so you will beat them with personality. You start to engineer your own virality. It is the summer of 2021. You have been grinding for 2 years. You are stuck at 1,500 viewers. You are making money, but you aren't a star. You are just a guy playing a dead game. Then, it happens. A clip. You are opening alpha packs in the game. You pull a rubber ducky charm. Clip it. You pull another one. Clip it. You pull a third one in a row. You scream. You lose your mind. You rage. A fan takes that clip. They post it on TikTok. 17 million views. You wake up the next day, and your world has changed. You realize the secret. People don't want to watch gameplay. They want to watch you. They want to watch the reaction. They want the chaos. You start to weaponize the algorithm. You create a new meta. Good aim versus bad aim. You realize that if you miss shots on purpose, people will comment to call you trash. If you hit crazy shots, people will comment to call you a cheater. Either way, they are commenting. You turn your gameplay into a psychological trap for engagement. You start screaming. You start spitting. You start creating a character that is so loud, so obnoxious, and so undeniable that people cannot look away. You become the villain of your own stream. But then, the accusations start. People see the screaming, they see the energy, and they say, he is just copying iShow's speed. They call you a clone. They call you unoriginal. It eats at you. You know you aren't copying anyone. You are just being the unfiltered raw version of Nicholas. You have to work twice as hard to prove that you aren't just a remix of someone else, but the original architect of your own lane. And then you challenge the king. Bolo, the god of Siege. The player who never misses. The PC elitist. You, the console kid with the lisp and the stutter, challenge the best player in the world to a 1v1. The internet laughs. They say you are going to get smoked. You lose the first time, but you don't quit. You train. You grind. You obsess. You challenge him again. And this time, you win. The narrative shifts. You aren't just a clown anymore. You are a contender. You have proven that a kid with a controller can bleed the gods. You become the hero of every console player who has ever been bullied by a PC gamer. You carry the weight of an entire platform on your back. You realize that the 1v1 isn't just a game. It is a spectacle. You start hosting tournaments. Saturday Night Jynxzi becomes an event. You put $10,000 of your own money on the line. You invite the best players in the world. You cast the games with the energy of a UFC announcer. You turn a tactical shooter into a gladiator arena. You are screaming play-by-play until your voice gives out. You are hyping up the drama. You are creating storylines. You are single-handedly keeping the ecosystem of the game alive. The developers see the numbers. They realize that a kid in his bedroom is doing a better job of marketing their game than their entire marketing department. The numbers start to spiral out of control. You hit 10,000 subs, then 50,000, then 100,000. You pass XQC, you pass Kai Nat. You become the most subscribed streamer on the planet. The kid who was told to take life seriously is now making more money in a month than his business teacher will make in a lifetime. You single-handedly revive Rainbow Six Siege. The player counts go up because of you. Ubisoft, a billion-dollar company, owes its resurgence to a kid screaming in his bedroom in Florida. But the climb to the top comes with a price, a physical price. You look in the mirror. You see the dent, the headset dent. You have worn your headphones for so many hours, for so many years, that your skull has literally deformed. You have physically reshaped your own body for the content. You look at your eyes. Your pupils are dilated. The adrenaline of performing for 100,000 people creates a natural high that looks like drugs. The internet starts the rumors. He's on coke. He's an addict. Look at his eyes. You have to go on stream and defend your sobriety. You have to tell the world, I have never touched a substance in my life. But they don't believe you. They want you to be broken. They want a reason to explain your energy because they can't understand that it comes from pure, unadulterated passion. Then comes the Sarah incident, the scar on your heart. You fall for a girl. You think it's real. You think she likes Nicholas Stewart, the soccer kid from Florida, not Jynxzi, the millionaire streamer. She cheats on you. It breaks you. But the internet doesn't offer sympathy. They offer content. A YouTuber named Charlie takes your heartbreak and makes a video laughing about it. He turns your pain into a punchline. You realize then that you can never truly trust anyone in this industry. You realize that your friends are just content collaborators and your enemies are waiting for you to bleed. You build a wall around your heart. You decide that you will never be vulnerable again. So you pivot. You enter the sellout arc, the podcast era. You bring on girls, Brecky Hill, OnlyFans models. You do the e-dating streams. The core audience, the Siege players who have been with you since the beginning, they hate it. They call it cringe. They say you have changed. They say you are farming for clips. Do it, clap. You humiliate yourself asking stupid questions to girls who are just using you for clout. You become a caricature of yourself. You are farming views, but you are losing respect. You are walking a tightrope between being the king of Twitch and being the king of cringe. You feel the pressure to evolve, to be more than just the Siege guy, but the growing pains are public and they are brutal. But you find a way to break out of the solitary confinement. You start doing IRL collaborations. You invite Sketch, a guy who is just as weird, just as awkward, and just as funny as you. You sit in a room together. The chemistry is instant. What's up, brother? You create a viral moment that transcends gaming. You realize that you don't have to be the loud, screaming villain all the time. You can just be two guys having fun. It is a breath of fresh air. It humanizes you. It reminds the world that behind the headset dent and the spit flying at the camera, there is a person who just wants to connect. But then, you remember who you are. You remember the darkroom. You go back to the roots. You remember the one viewer. You take the money, the millions of dollars you earned from the screaming and the dented head, and you do the one thing that matters. You walk your dad into the driveway, the man who sat in your chat for 639 hours, the man who told you to go for it when everyone else said you were delusional. You hand him the keys, a Porsche 911, $200,000 of German engineering. He cries. You cry. In that moment, the subscriber count doesn't matter. The headset dent doesn't matter. The haters calling you a sellout don't matter. You realize that you didn't just play a video game, you played the system. You turned a dying game into an empire, and you turned your father's faith into a legacy. You sit back in your chair. You put the headset back on. You feel the familiar pressure on your dented skull. It hurts, but it's a good hurt. It's the feeling of victory. You check the stream. 100,000 people are waiting. You see a message in the chat. A kid named Dusty. He says he wants to end it. He says he has nothing left. You stop the character. You stop the screaming. You lean into the camera. You look Dusty in the eye. If you think nobody cares about you, I care about you. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You realize that you aren't just a jester. You are a lifeline, just like your dad was a lifeline for you. You are Jynxzi, but you are also Nicholas, the savior of Siege, the console peasant who became a king. And you are just getting started.